day, Internet, and welcome to the Monday Night Online Open Mic presented by the legendary New Eurekan Poets Cafe. I'm your host for the evening. My name is Advocate of Wordz. Happy Monday to everyone. Happy Monday. Where are the beautiful faces? Here are all the beautiful faces. We have a lot of people on our list tonight, 25 to be exact. We're going to have, what was that? What's that playing? Oh, sorry. That was another video playing of me at the New York. I got some extra footage from the New York. Gonna be talking about that in a little bit later. First, let us get to it because, like I said, we have a full list tonight. All 25 spots have been filled up. This is the Monday Night Online Open Mic, and we've been doing it for 115 weeks in a row. We do this every Monday at 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific. We are streaming live on Facebook, YouTube, and on Twitter. And if you're interested in seeing our past open mics, you can check them out on Facebook and YouTube. We have all of them up there because we added Twitter later on. And if you happen to be watching us live on Facebook, YouTube, or Twitter, you can join us in the Zoom room. The number's at the bottom, 279-995-364. That will be on the screen for a little bit. So hurry up, write it down. Come join us. Okay, we'd like to thank the National Endowment for the Arts, the New York State Council on the Arts, the New York City Department of Cultural Affairs, Amazon Literary Partnership, and the New York Community Trust for sponsoring our free online events. You too can help us with a tax-deductible donation by going to www.neweurekan.org/contribute or hitting us on the Cash App, New Eurekan Poets Cafe. Also, you can give me a follow on Instagram, Twitter, and I'm on the YouTubes at Advocate of Wordz. When you spell words, that's with a Z because poetic license. Okay, a few rules we need to get into. Poets, please turn your cameras on when we call you. We want to see your beautiful faces. We want to have that the ability to see those expressions when you are sharing your poetry. We're looking to simulate an in-person open mic as much as possible. And I'm not going to mention this week how we're just voyeurs and we want to see if you cleaned your room or not. Also, poets, please have your poems ready, whether you're going analog style, reading it off the piece of paper, or you happen to be reading it off a file on your computer. Have all of that open ready. Like I said, we got a full list tonight. We want to get to everyone in a timely manner. So when we call you, you are ready to go because we are here for the poetry. Poets, you got 3 minutes to perform, not 3 minutes and 15 seconds, but 3 minutes to perform. And we give you a 30-second intro to let the good folks know that where they can find you online, Instagram, Twitter, whatever social media you have, or if you have your own website, whatever it may be. We want you to introduce yourself to the community and hopefully get people to follow you, especially if they really like your stuff. In terms of censorship, put the kids to bed. Some of our poets like to use mommy and daddy language. And in a more serious note, some of our poets tend to share some things that are very vulnerable, so it could be triggering. Thou has been warned. No censorship, just the way the founders of the cafe liked it. Also, after our poets give you their all, you're going to see this option to unmute yourself. Please click that blue button and shower our poets with a ton of love because it's not easy whether you're doing this in person or on Zoom. And who cares what your neighbors think? They should be on the Monday Night Online Open Mic checking us out. Okay, sign-up list is closed. The sign-up list opens 24 hours before the show on Sunday at 8 p.m. Eastern. To sign up, you visit neweurekan.org and click Full Events Calendar. After that, you would click on the date that you were signing up for. So I believe next week is, what is today? Today is the 13th, I think next week's the 20th. I'm not sure. Check your calendars. So you would click on the next Monday that you want to sign up for, and you would get an artist RSVP ticket. It's the only way to get onto the open mic list. It is the artist RSVP ticket, and it's for free. Do not get the view RSVP ticket. It will not put you on the list. Real quick, we are going to be talking about the anthology later on today. This is the week where we are going to start to go through the poems. We've got dozens of submissions to go through. We're going to start to slowly hit people up and let them know that we have received their submission. Also, I want to talk about my workshop a little bit later on. Let's write a book of poems. And this is our list. This is why we're here today, to listen to these poets. Now, the poets that you see have the white names. They are here offering often, and they've been here often for a while, and more importantly, more recently. But those names in the black are either new or haven't been here in a while. Like Miro, I know Miro was here last week, but Elemental subbed in for me. We're going to talk about that a little bit later on, so I'm excited to hear Miro. We have Tenson and Cube. I feel like I know that name or I've heard it before, but we're going to say I believe that they're new. And then Noah Pelletieri, but if I'm not mistaken, Noah's account is being used by his sister. I could be wrong about that. So, also, if you see the names that are in yellow, yes, that is the people from Nomadic Press, and I saw that all three of them were bunched together, so I felt like, hey, maybe tonight it's like we're going to have like a mini feature from Nomadic Press, courtesy of Nomadic Press. Got a lot of love for them. With that being said, I have talked a lot, and I am excited because someone named Gina Nepa is starting us off, and we love us some Gina Nepa. Gina, let the good folks know where they can find you online, and then kick it off. Good to see you.
Hi, so good to see you. You can find me on Instagram at Gina Antonia Poetry. Also, just very much appreciate the sheer intensity of being first. I don't know how to sit in this, but we're going to see how that goes. And also just reiterating the same warning the advocate just gave that my content is not for kids. So I will say it again very gently. My content is not for kids. Okay. I was 14 the first time I was called a slut because at that time we referred to rape as sex and we referred to sex as the place of no return. Is being a slut liberating now? Does our current attempt at cultural reckoning repair a prefrontal cortex in which the teenagers who live inside us were told we were sluts and whores and cunts and the kind you wouldn't waste a condom on, the kind you thought were kidding when we told you no, the kind you don't wait up for even if we never make it home? Having conversations about this psychological damage with people who tell you you're liberated now. These people seem to forget they were the same ones who shamed abortion just 5 years ago, who told you, well, what did you expect? Who told you the police would save you, even if the police were the ones you were needing to report, who scoffed at the dresses you wore that you loved so deeply in spite of the rhetoric that wearing it at all meant you didn't love yourself. How much of myself did I have to bear to be granted just a bare modicum of respect to just matter enough for you to hear no as a complete sentence and not as a challenge to what you've learned about girls like me? You see, we can't play hard to get when we were told we were breaking the rules of entry by suggesting the game was always rigged for us to hate ourselves more than you do. What goes down easier, your hypocrisy that's just called good campaigning or the long treasured college sport of, well, you were drunk too? To the progressive boys on the internet who tell me you just haven't found the right one yet, I'm sorry, you need to desperately claw onto a narrative of heteronormativity in order to find me palatable, acceptable, respectable enough. Is patriarchy something that's only bad when there's a hashtag for it? Let me repeat, we don't all want to be like you. Let me repeat, we don't all want to be like you, but maybe you could do a little more to hide the fact that you don't want to be like us. So strange that these are the same men who shoot their shot after hearing the poems about sex addiction, the sex addiction that stemmed from an unceasing desire to maybe finally get joy out of what we'd only ever known to be a death wish. So when you tell me not to feel shame anymore, I wonder when you'll start. That's it.
Unmute yourself and give it up for Gina Nepa kicking it off.
Gina, way
What a start to the evening. Yeah, Gina.
Let's go.
Wow. Thank you.
Yeah.
Gina Nepa, make sure you give her a follow at gina.antonia.poetry. And if you can see also in her Zoom, she had her name on the bottom. Everyone here, if you want to make sure that you include your social media handle, feel free to. Gina Nepa, a mainstay here at the Monday Night Online Open Mic. Okay, I forgot to mention two things. One, shout out to the sung hero of the community, the producer of tonight, Mr. Rob Mark Thompson. Appreciate you, brother. And also tonight's theme is bilingual. Our poets need not be on theme, on topic in order to perform, but I should also put that out. The theme tonight is bilingual, and I'm gonna have to look up the theme for next week. I think it's wine, beer, and alcohol. That should be fun. With that being said, we are now going to the UK to hear to my brother, Lantern Carrier, who always brings some fire. Lantern, let the good folks know where they can find you online, and then the floor is yours.
Thanks, my brother. I'll do that in a moment. I'll just do the poem first. Stabbing my core with peerless joy. I saw my precious lover last evening, adorned in the crimson smiles of sunset. She was arrayed in the soft aquamarine hue of peninsular ripples drifting out to sea. Clouds parted as the indigo blue heaven gifted its rays on the verdant leaves of the coconut palm beneath which we encountered. Our eyes met in the lushness of an ambience where fireflies waltz in delight. Shooting stars danced with moonbeams. The perennial nebulae whispered messages of unconditional love. We embraced silently in the stillness of dusk, paying homage to the namelessness of the one who gave us meaning. She smiled alluringly, looking deep into my soul, tongue darting in and out, perusing my yearning lips. I rolled one finger through the midline of her forehead, rim of her nose, down her chin's dimple to the nape of her neck. She kissed my lips with the breath of her sweetness. My soul traveled a million journeys, stabbing my core with peerless joy. Apuñalando mi núcleo con una alegría incomparable. Vi a mi precioso amante anoche, aronado con las sonrisas carmesí de la puesta del sol. Estaba dispuesta en el submarino blando, tono de ondulaciones peninsulares a la deriva hacia el mar. Las nubes se separaron como el cielo azul índigo, dotados sus rayos sobre los verdes hojas de la palma de coco, debajo de lo cual nos encontramos. Nuestros ojos se encontraron en la exuberancia de un ambiente donde las luciérnagas bailaban valses de deleite. Las estrellas fugaces bailaban con rayos de luna, luz perenne, nebulosas, mensajes susurrados de amor incondicional. Nosotros abrazados en silencio en la quietud del atardecer, rindiendo homenaje a la falta de nombre de aquel que nos dio significado. Ella sonrió, seductoramente mirando profundamente en mi alma, lengua entrando y saliendo, examinando mis labios anhelantes. Rodé un dedo a través de la línea media de su frente, borde de su nariz, por el hielo que subiría hasta la nuca. Ella besó mis labios con el aliento de su dulzura. Mi alma viajé en millón de viajes, apuñalando mi núcleo con una alegría incomparable. El portador de las linternas, muchas gracias.
Unmute yourselves and give it up for Lantern Carrier.
Yeah.
Always dope.
Lantern.
Yeah. Always beautiful.
Lantern. Lantern.
Beautiful.
Lantern Carrier, our brother over in the UK, staying up late for us. A mainstay here in the Monday night online open mic. Brother, I appreciate you very much. Poets, after you perform, make sure that you check the chat here in Zoom because a lot of people are saying nice things about you. And make sure also to put your contact information or where they can follow you on social media. We try and build community here. Next coming up, someone we have been building community with because not only is she a mainstay on Monday Sundays, but she be coming to our live events, and she is a rock star at karaoke, not just on the open mic, and that is Mia Aguilera, the woman who's known to crumble up her poems, the piece of paper, and throw it at you in the audience. I love it. She gangster. Mia, let the good folks know where they can find you online, and then the floor is yours, sis.
Thank you, Advocate. And speaking of the events at the cafe, I couldn't go to the last one because I didn't feel good, and I was so upset because I had been looking forward to it. So I'm sorry that I missed your reading and karaoke, but I'm gonna keep on trying to go to the others. All right, I'll put my Instagram handle in the chat when I'm done. Today, I'm actually going to be reading from Gloria Anzaldua's book, Borderlands. I highly recommend it. In the 80s, she was an academic for what was known as Chicano studies. But in this book, there's a lot of poetry, and most of it is bilingual. So I'm going to be reading one of those. Wind tugging at my sleeve, feet sinking into the sand. I stand at the edge where earth touches ocean, where the two overlap, a gentle coming together at other times and places of violent clash. Across the border in Mexico, stark silhouette of houses gutted by waves, cliffs crumbling into the sea, silver waves marbled with spume, gashing a hole under the border fence. Miro el mar atacar la cerca en Borderfield Park con sus bochonos de agua, an Easter Sunday resurrection of the brown blood in my veins. Oigo el llorido del mar, el respiro del aire, my heart surges to the beat of the sea, in the gray haze of the sun, the gull's shrill cry of hunger, the tangy smell of the sea seeping into me. I walk through the hole in the fence to the other side. Under my fingers, I feel the gritty wire, rusted by 139 years of the salty breath of the sea. Beneath the iron sky, Mexican children kick their soccer ball across, run after it, entering the US. I press my hand to the steel curtain, chain link fence crowned with rolled barbed wire, rippling from the sea where Tijuana touches San Diego, unrolling over mountains and plains and deserts. This tortilla curtain turning into El Rio Grande, flowing down to the flatlands of the Magic Valley of South Texas, its mouth emptying into the Gulf. 1,950-mile-long open wound dividing a pueblo, a culture, running down the length of my body, staking fence rods in my flesh, splits me, me raja. This is my home, this thin edge of barbed wire. But the skin of the earth is seamless. The sea cannot be fenced. El mar does not stop at borders. To show the white man what she thought of his arrogance, Yamaya blew the wire fence down. This land was Mexican once, was Indian always, and is, and will be again. Yo soy un puente tenido, del mundo gabacho al del mojado, lo pasado me estira para atrás y lo presente para adelante, que la Virgen del Guadalupe me cuide. Ay, 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 soy mexicana de este lado.
Unmute yourselves and let's make some noise for Mia for that.
Yeah.
Thank you, Mia.
Oh,
Yeah, it's beautiful.
appreciate that. Oh,
Yeah.
Mia Aguilera. Mia, can you put the author's info into the chat once again so that people can look it up themselves? Mia Aguilera, a mainstay here. And of course, she was referring to our event every second Saturday. We have events at the cafe, hybrid, and the karaoke. But of course, Mia, if you're under the weather, it's more important you get better. I hope all is well with you. And we're just going to have to miss you. But you can't get sick next month. That's it, all right? You got your 1 month, Mia. That's it. Get it together, Brooklyn. Get it together, all right? You one of us. All right, let's keep it moving. Next coming up is a woman I am so happy that she is one of us. And that is Diane Ward. My heart skips a beat just hearing the name Diane Ward, a mainstay member here at the Monday Night Online Open Mic. An incredibly accomplished and humble woman. She's not just easy on the eyes, and I adore her poetry. Diane, it is a pleasure to see you. I'm going to shut up because I'm a babbling fool right now, and I'm going to let you take it. Go ahead. We ready.
Thank you so much. Uh, this is a piece with a trigger warning, and I'm going to use strong language, which is uncommon for me. You're not used to hearing me say these things, advocate and everyone, but the title is Who Needs a Pulse? Pining away for what or whom? I'm housed in a museum. You'll be here soon. Feelings are overrated by many, they say. So they built a place for you to place any feelings you may have experienced or any creeping up on you. Everything is built for your convenience. Technology to rid disease, now considered less a priority once upon a time. Now life is less significant. So I ask, as an antique model, who needs a pulse? I'm being repurposed, the technician said, debilitating. I'm housed in a museum. Repurposed is a polite way of saying you're phased. You're phased, I'm phased, and the whole planet is phased. Museums are nice, now rarely visited, even virtually, which is free, but who wants reminding of what the real question is, who needs a pulse? Living became overrated unless you can anesthetize feelings, which interrupts ruthlessness. So who needs a pulse? Phase you. Redirecting for self-ending grinds. Sorry for cursing, but no other term catches the disgust more than, well, forgive me, but this expletive suits this piece. That's right, being human, your mother suckled human. I'm going off now. You forgetful, phony phase welcoming mother suckled human. Your phase and face annoys me. Everything about you annoys me. And I'm the ancient model. Kiss my fatherboard, you phasing freaks. Who needs a pulse? Here, post this. I'm bad. Who needs a pulse, you mother suckled human? Kiss my phasing node. Who needs a pulse? You disgust me. I know this is out of my character, but you asked for it. Yes, you did. I just broke human. I was once human, but now I'm not. After all, who needs a pulse? Most of you don't, obviously. And it was decided that none of us need a pulse, just circuitry. After all, that's what neurons are. But it's too late to disagree because we're all becoming phasing mechanized now. As I said, I'm an antique model and I'm getting scrapped. So before I leave you, you can kiss my segregated parts. Look, this was the going out to pasture you relegated for those of us who rebelled. Or am I confused? You called me names. I'm proud and I'm not ashamed that I was once a mother-suckled human. Phase you. Then you called me an ENIAC. Phase you to hell. Delete my Active Directory. Yeah, authenticate this. And what's left of your family? Bots? Yeah, phase. phase you. Kiss my fatherboard. I'm housed in a museum. Phase all of you and your family. All your phasing crazy. They phased, blotted your ram. Who's phasing malicious? I know my real heritage. My roots are being a mother suckled human. Your phasing grandma was nicknamed Capture, you loser. You phasing idiot. I'm surprised you didn't catch on sooner. Oops, overextended my fatherboard. Phase you. Thank you.
Unmute yourselves and give it up for Diane Ward.
Diane, wow.
Oh, yes. It's been fantastic.
Intense.
I was not ready for all that language. I was that was a vibe all unto itself. Diane Ward, you can't find her on social media. You can only find her here on the Monday Night Online Open Mic, where she be bringing her phasing incredible poetry to all you mother-suckled human beings. That was fantastic. Oh, I love me some Diane Ward. You see why I be crushing on this woman hard. Diane Ward, yeah, fantastic. And a teacher, too, I'm telling you. And more and more, I get to find out more and more about her. She is an accomplished woman, yeah. Get to know her. All right, let's keep it moving. This man, for some reason, had gotten locked out of Zoom, but now he fixed it. I don't know, maybe his webcam wasn't working, because if they had saw that face and incredible hair that turns on all you mother-suckled human beings, Zoom would have known, oh, we ain't phasing this man out. And that is Michael Sindler. Poet, it is a pleasure to see you again, brother. I'm ready to hear you. I enjoy your work. Let's do it.
Yes, I once was lost, but now I'm Zoomed. I will beforehand just automatically mention the fact lighthousewriters.org, LitFest is going on right now. Still a rare seat left in a few things, and free events going on every day. So check it out, folks. That was pretty damn intense, Diane. I'm after that. I'm waiting for Lantern Carrier to do some erotic gangster rap. But I am also going to do something a little out of my ordinary. I'm going to get a little less zen. And, it's just been one of those last few weeks. So this is called Overwhelmed. Skidding to stop, bodies break, screech as shots reverberate. Sympathetic system resonates, takes in phantoms, overwhelmed brain senses whiplash from flipping headlines, breathing wind exhaled from gunpowder-tinned souls, eyes glazed in days of day after day, repetition of brandished weapons, nervous system overloaded as AR-15s are reloaded, shot after shot, scaring, scattering, scarring, searing, killing, heart overflowing, Valentine mailbox stuffed with addressless missives, wishes lost on wind, while unreceived cards age crumbling deep within dead letter office, center of eternal unheard threnody, shoved aside to make room for super PAC donations, to keep reviled repellent representatives in place to prevent progress, keep steady stream of innocent blood flowing, never slowing, more mass murders than days and week, frustration felt through body to bone, stare at screen as hearts of stone pretend to atone, repeat platitudes, echoing shots of thought, prayer, thought, prayer, thought, prayer, souring the air with insincerity, struggle to gasp for breath as avarice clouds conversation, dollar signs dangling from semi-automatic reactions, Propaganda suckled sycophants rushing to rearm one more death stick for overstuffed collection, prepared for traitorous insurrection, afraid of replacement, afraid of mirror, mistaking carnage for revenge, mistaking ruin for rapture, overwhelmed by hate that will not abate in face of facts. Blood pressure pounds at temples like tiny hands against locked classroom doors, soars to boiling point, roiling deep into soul, taking each breath as stolen gift. Perhaps fragile promise of peace fruit will bloom even as small bodies are carried from dark, burnt carcass of shattered school, sacrificial site no longer whole, yet holy in memory of those left behind. Okay, thank you.
Unmute yourselves and let's give some energy to
Come
Michael
on,
Sindler.
Relentless. God, relentless. That was amazing.
Come on.
Mr. Michael Sindler, make sure you check out the website lighthousewriters.org. He doesn't have a social media, but he always promotes lighthousewriters.org. Make sure that y'all go and check that out. Appreciate you, brother. Mr. Michael Sindler, a mainstay here at the Monday Night Online Open Mic. And next coming up is another mainstay. But I don't know, man. I don't know where she's been. She apparently found where the parties are on Mondays, and it's not on Zoom with us. I am offended on behalf of the entire mother suckling humans who are checking out this phasing open mic. I am offended, and it's Miro. We love you, Miro. Hope all is well. Let the people know where they can find you online, and then we ready for your poetry, sis.
Wow. Just bulldoze me. Why don't you, Advocate? I've spent the last 3 months in a super intense software engineering boot camp. I graduated like 2 weeks ago and I made fellowship, so I'm still there. But this time I'm grading, I'm giving the lectures. So these juniors and seniors have no idea what they're in for, but it's good fun and I'm here now. So you're welcome, Advocate. Just kidding. Okay. I have 2 short pieces for you. The first one, tentative title, is just called Text Me. I don't like the title very much. Okay. How did you know I like being bossed around, but it only works when you play along? This silence, I guess, means you've moved on. And second piece, here we go, second piece, okay. It is a muggy Friday in June. The window unit is doing the best it can. The smell of roses wafts over the space from its burner on the dresser. The speaker murmurs endless streams of alternative lyrics. I sprawl amongst the blankets and pillows, unwashed hair held by a spider clip, answering texts as they come. I wonder if I've done enough today, this week, and my eyelids, heavy with the burden of too many early mornings, respond in the affirmative. I am cradled by guitar strums, by the drone of the window unit, drowning out whatever's happening beyond. Yes, June nights are for existence. Thanks, you guys.
Ooh, unmute yourself. Give it up for Miro.
We missed you.
I missed you too.
Congrats.
Thank you.
Congrats. Cheers.
Thank you so much.
Miro came back with fire. Congrats, Miro. Be nice on the students. Be nice on them, please. Miro, make sure y'all give her a follow. She's on Instagram. Miro Reads Books. She has also put together an anthology, Love Letters to Gaia. She's done a whole lot of things, and now she's looking how to hack you, So beware, y'all. Beware, all right? There is no Nigerian prince with millions of dollars that just needs a few bucks to get his stuff, all right? That's all Miro. That's what Miro learned how to do. I'm teasing. Miro reads books on Instagram. Make sure you go give her a follow. Next coming up is another mainstay who I got to see this weekend. She also walked in the Puerto Rican Day Parade with us. Yes, the New Rican Poets Cafe was in the Puerto Rican Day Parade. Shout out to some of the media who covered it and put some of our beautiful faces on TV. And this person was one of them hanging out with us, and that is the Beanie God herself, Deadpan Lizzie. Lizzie, it's a pleasure to see you. Let the folks know where they can find you online, and then the floor is yours, sis.
Beanie blessings, brother. Beanie blessings, community. It was an honor to march in the parade yesterday and support Puerto Rican and Near Rican culture. So thank you for allowing me to do that with you. It was a really beautiful day, and it was my first Puerto Rican Day Parade, so I'm happy I got to spend it with the cafe. All right, I'm going to read one Pianku and one thesis poem. They're both on the prompt. The first one is called I Am a Human Being. Foot in my mouth is language I speak fluently. And the final piece I'm going to leave you with is called Scribing. Internal dialogue runs through our heads 24/7. The conversations we cannot break with ourselves, our lips occasionally too dry to share with others, scared and shy, a nonstop tech rehearsal of our own one-person productions we write, direct, design, and stage manage. But when we stop to break bread with one another, our love languages feed each other's souls and fill our hungry bellies with the flavor we have cooked up of our private journeys. And we have spit the proses of our cerebellums. It can be a language we didn't even realize we know. Our emotional intelligence takes over faster than our brains can handle. When our chords are struck too hard, we cannot control ourselves. After all, we are only human. The ones who choose to show their best character traits that have not scribed into the breakdown, into the beginning of the plays. We pause to think about how we want to articulate our protagonist instead of our antagonist. Thinking in our first language how to communicate our honesty. Estu mir bahang. For those who don't speak Yiddish and need to hear it in English, what I said was, I'm sorry. I'm human, I err like the rest of you. Instead of lurking in the balcony like a phantom, I belt my libretto. Thank you.
Unmute yourselves. Give it up for Deadpan.
Oh, yeah, that was great.
Lizzie!
Really
Thank you very much.
fantastic.
Amazing.
Thank you.
I'm loving tonight's topic, and I'm loving what everyone is bringing, including Deadpan Lizzie. Make sure that y'all go and you give her a follow. She is working on editing an anthology of her own as well. And in all of that, if you need a place to rent in New York City, you can speak with her too. She's a New York City realtor. Make sure you go check her out, Deadpan Lizzie. All right, before we keep moving forward, I want to give some time to the sung hero of the community, our producer, Mr. Ron Mark Thompson. Ron, let the good folks know where they can find you online and any things that you may have going on. He's got his hands in everyone's cookie jars, y'all. Love it. Go ahead, Ron.
Thank you so much. Appreciate it. Yes, I'm Ron Mark Thompson, one of the producers here on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Saturdays. And as Elizabeth mentioned, there was the National Puerto Rican Day Parade in New York City yesterday. It also was my first time I marched with in the Puerto Rican Day Parade. It was actually my first time marching in any parade, so that I was so proud and excited to be with the New Rican Poets Cafe. We had all the staff members, all the producers, all the hosts, and we had some of you from the community there as well. Claudia, Elizabeth, Janet, Ned Vega. So guys, next year, please come. It's such an amazing experience. Elizabeth, I know you can attest to that. You know, we had so much fun representing the New Rican Poets Cafe there, so it was just cool. All right, when Advocate does his halftime promos, I'll put the New Rican Poets Cafe and all the links again. And now in the chat, I put my personal things, Ron Mark Thompson on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and Bronx Art and Fun Up, the organization that I also work for, which is BXA AFH on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. And I also host a few programs with the Wordz Right. I put that information in the chat as well. Allow me to also promote 2 other events this week. I just put them in the chat. On Wednesday, at 8 p.m. in person and in Zoom, both free. Paul Concasso, our karaoke host, will be featuring at Art Define Poetic Affair. Come out and support him either in person if you happen to be in the Bronx or close by, or watch him on Zoom. You can get tickets on the Eventbrite link, which I just put in the chat. And on Friday, our own executive director, Miss LaBrewer, will be the co-host at the Bronx Music Heritage Center's Hip Hop Homeland Showcase. It's co-hosted by LaBrewer and Rockefeller. We have 2 dancing teams and 2 spoken word artists. One of them happens to be Vexed Lex, aka Alexis Garcia. She will be there. I will be there as well on Friday. Alexis, actually, we saw Vexed Lex. We saw her at the parade on the sideline, on the sidewalk cheering us on. Idiona, thank you for cheering us on as well from the sideline. On everyone else I may not have seen there, you guys rock. All right, talking about karaoke, there was somebody at karaoke, I think from Florida, right? And he rocked the house. I know, Gustav, you had fun, didn't you? At
And karaoke rocks.
Yes, and you did that wonderful song Fashion from David Bowie, which I didn't know before, but it's always great to, to get to know songs that I haven't known yet. I mean, you're just amazing. Your poetry, your singing, everything you do. So I know you're going to be close by New York City next month. I hope you can make it in person. If not, I know you're always with us online. So Gustav, for those who may not know you yet, go ahead and introduce yourself and then go ahead with your bilingual poem. It's all yours.
Okay, my info is in the chat. I'm going to get right to it. Bon, alors, allons-y. J'ai habité à Paris 1977-78, dans la banlieue à Neuilly-sur-Seine, tout près du bois de Boulogne. J'avais 12 ans et 13 ans quand j'y étais. Je suivais des cours dans un lycée français, le lycée Saint-James. C'était un château de chasse de François Ier. J'avais une petite amie française qui s'appelait Karine Neufjean. Elle adorait les mathématiques et moi, je l'aimais. C'est Karine qui m'a introduit à Pink Floyd, Animals, une journée quand on a fumé le hashish, moi, pour la première fois. Elle m'a donné ma première baiser cette journée aussi, sa bouche tendre et attrayante. And the rocket's red glare. Je ne t'oublierai jamais, Karine. Merci, ma chère belle-fille. And you know that I care what happens to you. And I know that you care for me too. Okay, let's go. I lived in Paris, France from 1977 to 78 in the suburbs of Neuilly-sur-Seine, very close to the Bois de Boulogne. I was 12 and 13 years old when I lived there. I was a student at a French lycée, the Lycée Saint-James. It was on the grounds of François I's hunting chateau. I had a girlfriend named Karine Neufjean. She adored mathematics and I adored her. It was Karine who introduced me to Pink Floyd Animals one day when we smoked hashish, me for the first time. She gave me my first real kiss, her mouth tender and inviting. Allons enfants de la patrie, le jour de gloire est arrivé. I will never forget, Karine. Thank you, ma chère belle-fille. Okay, this is part of the same called the Franglais Suite. This is l'absurdité française, une amuse-gueule. Plutôt, je dirais, fous le camp dans le marais, l'emmerdeur, tu me fais chier. Va te faire foutre avec ton pilet. Voulez-vous coucher avec moi? Je te connais quand même pas. Ferme ta gueule, espèce de con. Je n'aime pas du tout le ton. Mais changez donc le passant. Je t'adore de toute façon. Non pareil dans l'espace, tout perdu ma sagesse. Fais gaffe à toi avec la classe. Bien sûr, personne ne prend ta place. Mange maintenant le foie de gras. Excité dans mes bras. Dans mon cœur, tu vivras pour toujours, juste comme ça. Ça plein pour moi, ça plein pour moi, moi, ça plein pour moi. Thank you, everybody. Cheers. Merci.
Wow, everybody, go ahead and unmute yourself.
C'est
Pour
bon!
moi, pour moi,
Wow,
pour moi,
j'adore,
pour moi,
j'adore,
pour
j'adore.
moi.
Merci infiniment. Infiniment.
Dope, Gustav. Damn.
Amazing, amazing. Oh my God, I love this theme today. Bilingual. Gustav, you didn't disappoint. This is just amazing. I am so glad you're here with us on Mondays and on Saturdays. Cannot wait to see you in person. But until then, keep coming online. Thank you so much, Gustav. That was amazing. All right, next up. Finn Bell. Advocate mentioned that I have my hand in many cookie jars. I think she has her hand in way more cookie jars than I have. I mean, she is the founder and director of Fincabulary. She also started hosting workshops at the Society X, I believe. So you can tell us about that. You do wonderful open mics, poetry games with many guest hosts. The one with Nick and Elizabeth, a few weeks ago was wonderful. And I'm so sorry I missed your karaoke last, I think it was a week or 2 weeks ago, Finn. I was still at work at another organization, and by the time I got home, it was too late. And you were actually the reason we started Finn karaoke at the cafe, thanks to your wonderful online karaoke's. So Finn Bell, whenever you're ready to unmute yourself, yep, here we go. Go ahead and introduce yourself to those who still may not know you. I don't know if you know you. Oh, and there's your dog. Wants to get some
Salamat, Ron.
Go ahead if your dog lets you.
Yeah. Salamat, Ron. Ako po si Finn Bell, galing po sa San Francisco Bay Area. I am Finn Bell from San Francisco Bay Area. And for me, being bilingual speaks not only of knowing two languages, but it speaks to the traditions and the rituals of what I call home. So this is called preparing rice. There is skill involved in sifting of rice, a patience explained between bent fingers of elders to the impatient, nimble fingers of their young, in how they part and create moving dunes of white into mountains, divide to invent valleys in between where empty hulls and shining gray pebbles await notice, a diligence in seeking every last one as if cherished gems. The practice of flick in the wrist makes grains shower arcs of sunlight in one fluid motion, this repetition becoming its own meditative rhythm. There is an art to the careful act of cleansing rice, of summoning the coolness of a stream of water ready to trickle down palms as they lightly caress plump grains, in observation of liquid swirling thin milk into translucent. A single joint becomes the mark upon your measuring tape finger, a knowledge innate of where the top of the saturated rice ends and the rice of the water begins, an innate knowledge of how it is the perfect level. There is an art in building and maintaining your fire upon which you cook your cast iron pot of rice. Begin with the small branches, leaves, and logs presenting themselves along meandering early morning treks. Spying kasoy peeping between fences and sampalok fallen from tall trees. Remember the coconut hulls sun-dried after fiesta ng mahal na birhen and carefully squirreled away. Take this morning's newspaper and light its frightening political headlines aflame. Feed it as offering to your hungry kindling. The wildfire consumes itself here, your pot nestles where the embers glow and endure. There is a skill to tending this life-sustaining gift of rice, a balanced scale of perseverance and ingenuity in preparing it as the vital lungs and heart of a meal where not one morsel is neglected. Nose and eyes intuit the thickness and steam and the linger in the air of the hearty aroma and know this is where to shush and calm the flame. See as the grains soften and expand, swallow what remains of the pool, land of purity, once submerged in ocean fathoms, now lifting its head, visible. Never an idle kettle, pygmy aubergines, their bands of deep forest green startling, join the settling rice, keep each other company as they relax, subdued and pliable. Tara na, kain na tayo, carries upon the afternoon's remaining billow, humidity in the coming dusk and its tentative coastal breeze. Sampaguitas greet the cooling of evening, whetting appetite, saved prudently for hapunan. Country table is set. Tinapa bounds from the frying pan, flamboyant in the instant it flashes the momentary gold rainbow of its smoked skin. Sibuyas at kamatis soak themselves sea salty in patis, each and every soul, every offering, knowing to wait, almost, until the tutong crackles once. Our signal to mingle our words with the grace of our bounty. Amang banal, basbasan mo po ang mga biyayang ipinagkaloob mo sa amin. Our signal to whisper grace before dinner. Salamat.
Whew, unmute yourselves, give it up.
Oh my God.
And that was
Absolutely
incredible.
gorgeous.
Thank
I
you.
love
Beautiful.
that piece.
That was
Wow.
beautiful.
I really want some rice now.
Man,
Come on.
oh
I
my
need krypton rice.
God.
Let's go.
Poetry makes you hungry.
Gosh.
Finn Bell, make sure you give her a follow. Like Ron had said, she's got her hands in a whole lot of cookie jars. And it was her karaoke that inspired us to do it here at the cafe. But just a little tidbit here. Finn Bell is the only karaoke producer who can say that I have sung at her karaoke. I don't sing anywhere, but Finn Bell gets to claim that. And I haven't sung once, I've sung twice. Nowhere else, not even at the karaoke here at the cafe, only at Finn Bell's. Make sure that y'all go give her a follow. Check out all that she's doing. Also, want to give a shout out to Mr. Gustav Salas. I have no idea what you were saying, but it was beautiful, and I learned a little something about you. I had no idea you lived in France, brother. So make sure you go give them a follow. All right, we're going from super poems to a superhero with Professor Platinum, better known to us by his alias, Mr. Doug Silver. Doug, a pleasure to see you as always, brother. Let the people know they can find you online, and then the floor is yours.
Thank you, Advocate. Yeah, Elemental did a great job last week, as you know, but we're all happy you're back as well. Good to see you. This one is on theme. It's called All of This. My neighbor's daughter is visiting her parents for the first time in a long time. Long ago, she moved to Spain, to Madrid, first to study Spanish, then to stay, to get married, to have a daughter on her own terms. I think she moved so far away from home for the same reason so many of us do, to get away, to get farther away from all of this. When I finally ran into her, she was getting into her parents' minivan, strapping her baby into the car seat. I started, "Buenos dias, ¿cómo estás?" She hesitated and said, "Bien, gracias, ¿y tú?" "Igualmente, ¿y su hija?" I asked. "She's in shock," she said. "She's missing her padre, missing her casa, missing everything she knows and loves." "Entiendo, lo siento," I said. "I didn't know you spoke Spanish," she said. "I don't much, pero algún día queremos vivir en Mexico or España, or maybe Portugal." Portuguese has more differences than similarities with Spanish, she told me, just like with Portugal and Spain. They're like family members who can't see eye to eye. "I think it's great you moved to Madrid," I told her, "and started a new life there. It's not so different from anyone leaving home and going anywhere," she said, "just a bit farther away, maybe." "¿Y su hija? ¿Cómo te llamas?" I asked her. "Ava," she replied, with a long A, but people here in the States, they call her Eva with a long E. The great vowel shift strikes again, only in America, or really Only in English, I corrected myself. Sí, es verdad, she agreed, carefully slamming shut the sliding door of her parents' minivan. It used to be only in America, but now it's this, all of this, but only in English. Thank you, everybody. Thank you.
Unmute yourselves. Give it up for Doug
Yeah,
Silver.
very nice.
Great job, Doug.
Thank you.
Good job, man.
Yeah.
Oh,
Platinum Professor, Mr. Doug Silver, a mainstay here at the Monday Night Online Open Mic. And not only when he's signed up, even when he doesn't sign up, he comes to listen and hang out with the good people. I appreciate you, brother. Thank you for being part of this community. All right, next coming up is someone that Mr. Doug Silver had mentioned, and that is Elemental, which may be a little weird to see him now, seeing that last week he was in my chair hosting the Monday Night Online Open Mic, taking over the circus. I appreciate you, brother. Let the good folks know where they can find you online, and then we ready for your fire as a poet. We enjoyed your fire as a host last week. Now we ready for your fire as a poet, brother.
appreciate you, Advocate. Listen, to everyone who came through last Monday night, I truly appreciate y'all's energy. Really, you gave me the energy and the strength to do that. Thank you. Make sure you're giving Advocate of Wordz a follow. That's with a Z because poetic license. Shout out to the First Lady of Monday Night. To, again, every poet who came before me and after, I truly appreciate you. Storm God's in the building. Storm Force is rocking the world. Elemental.com is where you can find me. Plug in. This is brand new, man. Inhumans. This is Double Consciousness. I've heard fear profits a man nothing as hollow as empty promises drifting from counterfeit lips when conscious meets science fact that people are flesh and prone to social constructs that sound more foreign than sonar clicks. Make voice heavy as crowns that look like afros or fades or locks on doors of corporate boys club bathrooms where high-grade shit trickles down platinum pipes that dump into oceans of humanity. They ask me, what's that stench you're wearing? I mean, scent you carry in that slang you use so profusely, we have trouble understanding your ebonic word sorcery. Pardon me, no, pardon me for being publicly schooled to be public tool of your reconstruction that smells of our own demise. Indubitably, call it sanctified, maybe itemized list of how they demonize linguistics and still require shuck and jive to meet promotion guidelines. Still owned, operated, and educated by every Huey not named Newton. Still body language seen as belligerent offense to rigid characters that start off on your left to keep in step with this formation. I mean assimilation, I mean realization that we don't speak yachts and yacht masters, Ivy League legalese, NASDAQ bear markets, not protocols nor regulations. We speak grits and gumbo, fish fries and dominoes. You say door, we say dough. You say four, we say four. You say whore, we say ho. You want more, but we want more. What else is left for po folks to do but exist in double consciousness? So we Mike R. Maliks, Sean R. Saquons, Crystal R. Crystals, and Mercy R. Mercedes into pieces worthy of grinding between oppressive teeth that demands respect but give none. That's a problem, son. Expect no quarter, furthermore, give none. Get some. Ooh, that's your ass, Mr. Postman. Scratch alive, find a thief, and it's itching season. God don't make no mistakes, and today, damn sure ain't one. Bird in the hand is worth two in the bush, lurking like dirty serpents, swallow them whole. Speak in ways that reach your soul, call upon ancestral courage to be black and loud and beautifully as belligerent body language conveyed. Raise to be respectful, so we maintain our composure. It's over the moment we stop deciphering our dialect to fit into worthless conjectures of inferiority. Action will be our first syllable, removal our first thesis of speech patterns that carry generational curses in cursive called second-class citizenship. You know, those of us who speak scholarships and grants so patois we Zulu, proof that God made us in images of peace. Trust me, if we really spoke the same language, war would be our national anthem. You're lucky we're bilingual. But don't worry, comprehension is not a requisite for cooperation, but respect has always been. Start by investing in equality before hypocrisy, or we'll be translating much, much more than native tongues. Peace.
Ooh, unmute yourself.
Oh, yeah.
He caught the house.
Fire.
God
Thomas.
damn.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yo.
Fire everywhere. Damn. What?
Make sure you go give this man a follow. Check out his website, elemental.com. When you spell elemental, you take out the T, you put in the number 2, and you find all his goodness there. A mainstay here, the Monday Night Online Open Mic. And the man who also hosted last week may host some future Mondays for me as well. Oh, yeah. I think I could technically tell y'all, right? I have to check in with my girlfriend, Mariela Salazar, real quick. Hold on. I have to confer real quick with someone who Elemental dubbed as the first lady of the Monday Night Online Open Mic. Am I technically allowed to say anything? I'm asking you as my lawyer, not my girlfriend.
Yeah.
Yes?
I don't know what to say. Yeah.
I'm not talking to you as the first lady. I'm talking to you as my lawyer.
Oh.
It's all good?
I think you can hint at it.
Okay, I can only hint at it. Okay. All right,
No,
thank you.
Just say it.
Just say it? All right, thank you, lawyer. All right, so that was my lawyer from the UK, Mariela Salazar. And when she moves here to New York, she will be my official lawyer, my official live-in lawyer. That's the plan. So, all right, so we are going to shortly go to our next poll, but real quick, I want to let y'all know that so there's been a little bit of a change at the Nuyorican Poets Cafe. It's been in the works for a while, but it technically became official today. So I am the Nuyorican Poets Cafe's new program manager. So what that basically means now is I am an official employee, not just as an artist, and I'm going to be doing the programming in the different types of shows here at the Nuyorican Poets Cafe. So so that became official today. There's a lot of work, a lot of things going on behind the scenes. I'm really excited about getting different types of shows into here. Of course, I'm not just going to be the host, and it's not just going to be poetry. It's going to be a plethora of different things that we've got going on here. But I'm not just, I was taking care of the education role for the last few months, but now I'm going to be doing everything. I'm really excited about that. So with that being said, though, we didn't come here to speak to me. We came here so we could listen to the poets. And after Mr. Elemental got us all riled up, we need someone to take care of us. We need someone who's going to look us in the eyes and call us baby and make us feel like everything's going to be okay. And I've got the perfect person for that, and that is Mr. Andy Markert. Andy, a pleasure to see you again, brother. Please let the good folks know where they can find your goodness online, and then we ready for your poetry, brother.
Hi, my lovelies. Hello. You can find me on Instagram at Andy Meerkat with 2 T's and the bubble below my head, which you're watching talk right now. I rewrote this poem after it got eviscerated in a workshop, and this is actually the first time I've read it aloud. So we're just gonna wing it. This is Midnight Laughter Resonates, an aria of youth. Croquet at midnight is irrational. The rules don't make sense, too highbrow for my lowbrow hands, too rich for a body who only loved dirt. We scatter without being signaled, and suddenly I'm alive. These handcuffs chase our wrists like the jocks at their trucks chase the bodies they don't see as human, even if now we only play cops and robbers in the bedroom as we run, knowing what always wants to bring us home is shouting for us to stop over footfalls on dry leaves, like it's the first time we've ever heard it, and we all know better than to give back into the worlds we've tried so hard to scratch our bodies out from. We laugh because it is good to break the rules again. These bodies were never meant to be unwarranted. We are people to be protected from and not protected. Our removal is the service, and we were far too young and far too beautiful to be the pests removed this easily. Not by these men, these big bad wolf huffing and puffing beneath the clatter. Her hand grips mine in the bushes, so hard my knuckles crack. I can feel her heartbeat. We kiss as though it is the last time our tongue will touch what it wants, believing we will once again have to put our tongues to work for survival in hostile worlds, even if survival is what I taste against her tongue. I still don't know the rules of croquet. The running was the only game I came to play. Thank you.
Unmute yourselves and give this man your energy, yo.
That last
Every time.
You are the lovely.
Wow.
Buddy Wakefield is
You
smiling
are
right now, and he doesn't know why.
Love that guy so much, truly.
Andy Markert, you can give him a follow at Andy Meerkat. When you spell cat, that is with K and 2 T's at the end. Andy Meerkat, brother, we appreciate you. A longtime mainstay member of the Monday Night Online Open Mic. I'm here for it. I'm here for Andy Markert all the time. So, I can't find Tenson in Cube. So, Tenson, if you're here, hit me up. Me and Ron are missing you. So that means we going to Japan. We going to the man whose production value is second to none. And that is my man, Poetic. We known in Japan because of this, man. Love you, brother. Let the folks know where they can find you online, and then we here for it. We ready for your experience.
Yeah, first, congrats, advocates. I'm glad to see you and New York farm. This is all my account, Poerak 5 War. And tonight, I want to share you 100 years ago, Japanese poet, Bocho Yamamura, title Geigo. Geigo means bullshit. He made coin words, simple coin words, but these are all so dope, more eccentric than I. Perhaps World War I happened 1 year before that, so I guess he may wanted to something about this situation like today. So I want to share these classical masterpieces with you. Dance, rock, poet, bullshit. Please enjoy watching. Giggle, giggle, bullshit, bullshit. Giggle, giggle, bullshit, bullshit. Giggle, giggle, bullshit, bullshit. Giggle, 窃盗金魚、ピーカーフィッシュ、強盗ラッパー、ラブリーホール、恐喝呼吸、ブラックメイピロー、賭博猫、ギャンブリーキャッシュ、Giggle, giggle, bullshit, bullshit. Giggle, giggle, bullshit, bullshit. 詐欺サラサ、クラウドカットン、特色披露、コラッベルで、会員リンゴ、イモロアポ、障害ひばり、ハソートラック。Giggle, giggle, bullshit, bullshit. Giggle, giggle. ボシボシ殺人中にまだ一人堕胎家アボーションシャドウ創上行きライオットスノー放火マルメロアーソンクイーン誘拐カステーラキズナカステーラゲイゴゲイゴ bullshit, bullshit, giggle, giggle, bullshit. One more time. Thief, garbage, robbery, home, blackmail, speedo, gambling camp, fraud, cutting, crime, velvet, immoral, apple, assault, murder, tulip, abortion, shadows, liar, snow, Iceland, Queens, kidnap, Castilla. Bullshit, bullshit. Thank you so much. Bullshit.
Yeah, for Poetic.
Genius.
Next level.
Eccentric genius.
That's
incredible.
Wow.
No one's more eccentric than you.
dope as hell, Poet Talk. Damn.
Poetic. You can check him out on Twitter and Instagram, Poetic50. He's also on YouTube. Go give this brother a follow. I love having him as part of our community. He's so creative. I love it. I love it. Got that rhythm too. Poetic, thank you, brother. I appreciate you greatly. He's also rocked that hybrid with us too, man. I can't. One day we gotta get him into New York City. We gotta get him at the New York one day. One day. All right. So we are about to get to the nomadic press. We got 3 in a row. Right before we do get to that, because some people have showed up late and they're like, what am I watching? This is the Monday night online open mic presented by the New York Poets Cafe. We do this every Monday at 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific. We're streaming live on Facebook, YouTube, and on Twitter. If you would ever like to join us, this is the Zoom number we use every Monday, 279-995-364. Also, you can give me a follow. I'm on Instagram, Twitter, YouTube. Look up Advocate of Wordz. When you spell words, that's with a Z at the end, because what hip hop from the Bronx. So with a Z. Moving forward, our sign-up list opens 24 hours before the show on Sunday at 8 p.m. Eastern. To sign up, you would visit our website, nuyorican.org, and click Full Events Calendar. There, you would choose the Monday that you are signing up for. After you click on that date, you will then get to be able to get one of the tickets. We have a View RSVP ticket and an Artist RSVP ticket. You have to get the Artist RSVP ticket. If it is not up, that means we haven't opened the list yet. It's the only way to get on, and it's free. You'll be able to get on our open mic list, including those of you who are well versed on getting on this open mic list. You have been doing so for a very long time, and we've so appreciated that we want to put it into a book. So if you've ever performed on the Monday or the Thursday night online open mic, shout out to Ray Jane, who is in the Zoom call with us. She hosts our Thursday night online open mic. We'll talk about that a little later. So if you want to submit to our anthology, we are putting together a book that goes in Barnes and Nobles and the library and your DD shelf and all that. So you can submit up to a maximum of 5 poems. Each poem that you have submitted has to have been read on the Monday or the Thursday night online open mic, and it needs to include the date. That is going to be the little like wink wink thing that we have with our anthology. It's going to include the date that you read it on the Monday or Thursday night online open mic. You're going to submit them to me, to my email, advocateofwords@gmail.com. All styles and languages are welcome, and I also ask that you send it in a single file, either a single file of a PDF or a Word document. This week, we are going to start going through the dozens of submissions we've had. Now, when I say dozens, I mean the dozens of people, because people have submitted numerous poems. So I am going to be reading hundreds of poems over the next coming weeks and months. Your poems, all of you sent in. There is no deadline as of yet, but it looks like it's going to be the middle of June. When we decide that, I will make sure that I put it up, so all of you who are running a little behind know when when the last second is, when the 11th hour is. Okay, also this Wednesday, if you don't know, I host the Wednesday night Poetry Slam Open here at the New York Poets Cafe. 20 people come, they sign up, and they compete, and the winner not only gets a couple of bucks in their pocket, they get invited to the Friday Night Slam, and that is the tournament where the Friday night is where you can enter into the tournament to become the Grand Slam champion of the New York Poets Cafe. Doors open sharply at 8 p.m. That is when the sign-up list opens. It tends to It tends to fill up a little quickly. Also, my man Ron Mark Thompson is there as well, producing that event every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Eastern here at the New Rican Poets Cafe, except for the first Wednesday, because that's when we have the Women Orators Wednesdays. It is our all-women open mic. All of this and more could be found on nuyorican.org. Is that it? No, then let's write a book of poems. Okay, so this weekend, we're not going to have a workshop session because it's going to be Father's Day, and I'm going to be hanging out with letters. But after that, we are going to have several weeks in a row of nonstop. We are now going to move in. We have done so much. We've done so much different types of writing, editing. We've gone over different ways to look at your poems, how to improve it, how to like play with your poems. These are your toys. Play with it. Do not take it too serious. So in these next upcoming weeks, we are going to be working on an epic poem. And as I have promised, we're going to work on a children's poem. We have so much fun. So you can find that. You could look that up on nuyorican.org. With that being said, enough is enough. I've been waiting to get into the nomadic press section of this open mic, and we are starting with Haley Veith. Now, Haley, I know that my girlfriend has her eye on you, but I think she really likes the title of being the first lady of Monday nights, and she would have to give that up if she slid into your DM. So I think I'm okay for the moment, but I don't know. You're about to share your poetry, and your poetry's all kind of special. Let the folks know where they can find you online, and then the floor is yours. Good to see you.
Good to see you. I would never take our first lady of poetry. You guys can find me at Poetry by Haley, Instagram, Facebook. It's my name, which I'll put because you can't fit the whole thing in the box. I would like to say I'm on theme, but unfortunately, the only other language that I can speak is fluent people pleaser, and we're working on unpacking that. And so in that vein, this poem is my way of rebelling against that. And this one is called The Reject Pile. I will not give the man who called me jailbait for the first time a poem. I will not give the man who forgot he was my high school media teacher a poem. I will not give the man who thought rape culture was up for debate online a poem. I will not give the man who said everything but my stomach was beautiful as I straddled him a poem. I will not give the man who thinks my name is young lady on every conference call I lead a poem. I will not give the man who harassed me at work for daring to have bare shoulders a poem. I will not give the man who tried to blackmail me into leaving my job a poem. I will not give the man who dismissed me in an urgent care with a clot in my lung a poem. I will not give the man who told me I would go to hell for walking into Planned Parenthood a poem. I will not give the man who screamed, "I'm going to fucking kill you," as he reached for my car door a poem. I will not give the man who sexually assaulted me a poem. I will not give the man who told me it was my fault a poem. I will not give these men anything else of me. I will not give these men anything else. I will not give these men anything. I will not give these men. I will not give. Thank you, guys.
Unmute yourselves. Give it up for Haley.
Oh my God.
Wow. Right of shit. That's what I'm talking about. Dope, Haley. Dope.
Haley Veith, go give her a follow at Poetry by Haley, part of Nomadic Press, and very much part of this community of the Monday Night Online Open Mic. Haley, I can't wait. You come to New York City so you could grace our stages. You are always welcome here, sis. Now listen, I may share a stage with you, but I'm not going to share my lady with you, okay? I'm just not going to do that. But I will definitely share a stage and a microphone in a Zoom call because you all kinds of fire. Make sure that you go give her a follow, okay? We are one third of the way through the nomadic press part of the night. And now we are going to another woman who I have to watch out because her poetry and her being and her awesome essence may steal the first lady of the Monday Night Online Open Mic. And now we are talking about Noelia. Noelia, I hope you are feeling better. I did see what you were saying online. I hope you are feeling better. Please let the good folks know where they can find you online. And then we ready for that fire, sis.
Much love to you, Advocate. What's up, New Yo? I'm recovering from COVID, so I'm gonna try to get through a poem without coughing. And I can actually publicly say now that my debut full-length collection of poetry is forthcoming from Nomadic Press next year. First time I've said that out loud, holy shit. But here's a new poem. I wrote it during Amanda's workshop. That's the first of every month. You should go because it's lit. So here we go. And who would have thought this brown girl would be writing a poem about guilt? Not the normal guilt, not the guilt all her other shit is about, but guilt about healing, about thriving, about rebirth, about achieving dreams and healing, that lingering brokenness demanding humility, demanding penance, demanding gratitude in the form of punishment. The recovering pastor's daughter within wanting to convince me that I do not deserve the rush of blessings, that somewhere around the corner, the edge of the cliff lies waiting to snatch away everything I have not earned because I have not struggled enough, because this brown skin has not been through enough to merit this brown joy, these brown miracles, this brown laughter, the glow of my skin and the confidence in my step. But my mother did not break herself in two with a man she did not love and slave away in his home as she was raised to do, for me to suffer, for me to not dance. I am here to break generational wounds and I have no time for apologies. Brown lives can be so short, thus brown joy must be louder, must work harder to contain the smile, must let go of shame just long enough for the sun to burst through. Who knows how many more brown girls like me might be watching, hoping my lesson is not how to suffer stoically as we all know far too well, but how to rejoice, how to grow in soil that was meant to suffocate, how art existing and healing and glowing is enough, how we in our peace can be enough. Thank you.
Unmute yourself, give that woman some love.
Damn, fire.
Congratulations, Noelia. Oh
Further
my
evidence needed
God.
why that book.
Well deserved, Noelia. Congratulations.
Oh my God.
The good poem is
Brown
still
Mojo.
Feel
sick.
better.
Whoa.
Yeah, definitely hope you feel better.
Noelia Cerna, she's a beast with that pen. Congratulations about that. I had to hold on to that for a while. I wanted to whisper that when she had told me. I wanted to tell everyone, Noelia's got a book coming out. Noelia's got a book coming out. I'm so happy that's with Nomadic Press. I know that she's been working with that community for a while. She's one of them. She's also one of us, a mainstay here in the Monday Night Online Open Mic. And she too needs to come to New York City. I mean, if I have to dangle my girlfriend out there to get y'all to come over, you know she's coming over in late July, early August of this summer. You know that, Haley and Noelia. She is coming out to New York City. She will be at the cafe. I'm dangling her like a carrot. Yeah, y'all need to come out here this summer. All right, so we have gone through Haley, we have heard Noelia, and now we are going to go to another person who is representing Nomadic Press, and she actually hosts their online open mic, which is on Fridays. They've been doing it online for as long as we have, but we're not here to have her hosting because we want the goodness from her. We want that poetry, and that's Nazila. Naz, it has been a long time, well, maybe a couple months or so. I know you'll be busy, but screw that. We want you here every Monday night, all right? Look, Friday night, go do what you got to do with Nomadic Press. You know what I'm saying? Saturday and Sunday, if you want to help, promote Noelia's book, it's all good. But Mondays, you need to be with us. Sis, please let the folks know where they can find you online, and then let's hear the fire. I'm here for it. It's good to see you. Wait, you're unmuted on Zoom, but we didn't hear anything you said there. No.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, we hear you. Okay. Whew, I got scared there for a second. I got all pumped up to hear your poetry, and then your mic wasn't working. Okay, I'm good.
No,
Go
it's
ahead,
good to
Nas.
see you as well. I miss y'all. I'm just I totally am ADD and do not ever remember to sign up until like Monday morning. And then I'm like, well, so anyway, I'm here. You found me here tonight. There you go. You can also find me on Friday nights at the Nomadic Press virtual open mic. It happens actually at your house. So you should go online to Facebook and go to the Nomadic Press page and go to events and sign up and perform poetry at your house, such as you're doing right now. And you can also find me at nazila.com. Here is, I have a couple of poems. I have one. So I was sick the other week, and also I'm feeling petty. So here's a poem. Today could have begun with the usual cynicism, resentments, bitter justification. Alas, it did not. Our protagonist awakened quite a bit under the weather, sick and also tired, headachy, congested, so feverish. Negative emotion tends to be the first loss when all energies are limited, for me anyway. As I recall, you had an inherent ability to pluck anger from a brand new fruitless tree, manufacture hatred from flowers. Sometimes I'd swear your venom was made from crushed butterflies and blood oranges. I periodically wish you bad things, but remember, when I'm self-centeredly ill, that living with yourself is more vitriol than I am able to generate for you. Much as I've longed to see your charred and blackened karma, it's a movie I need not be subjected to. I paid my dues, earned a permanent sabbatical from you. Today, I will drink tea, blow my nose, love myself especially well. All that you refuse to be will temporarily pop into my head and dim the room. So I will peacefully sleep my sickness away, knowing that yours will, blessedly, go on without me. And I have one more. This is a short one. This is called Ode to Internet Dating. Gratitude for crimson flags, clearly seen and early. Blessed be the blocking function on most modern phones. Thank gods for discretion in disclosure of personal information. Appreciation for loving friends to remind of the beauty and sanity found alone at home. Thank y'all.
Unmute yourselves and give some energy to Nas, yo.
Yeah.
Super friend.
Petty Nas is
I'm on your
So
phone.
good to see you here.
Stay out of the internet. Nas is dangerous.
always dangerous.
Nazila, make sure you go give her a follow. Nas, put your info into the chat so that the people could click on whatever links you send them and give them follows. Like I said, she hosts there, and like she said, she hosts their virtual open mic every Friday. They've been doing it for just as long as we have here on the Zooms. I love that community. Another one of ours has published with Nomadic Press, and that is Norm Mathematics. I couldn't think of Norm for a second. Norm Mathematics. Appreciate that, brother, too. Nas, thank you so much for joining us. Please come back. Stop being a stranger. I know you return after a little while, but please come back. We love having you here. Love promoting Nomadic Press. All right, let's keep it moving now. We are now going to Malaysia. Oh, yeah, that wraps up our Nomadic Press part of the open mic. If you want more of them, go look them up. Nomadic Press. All right. With that being said, we're now moving to Malaysia with another individual who has been recently published in the short stories of all sorts. It was prose, right, Julian? It was a prose. My man, yo, I love me some poetry, but I love the prose too. Give it up, y'all. My man, Julian Matthews. Brother, let the folks know they can find you online, and then we ready for whatever treasure you're about to bestow upon us.
Hi, everyone.
I'm from Malaysia. There are 137 living languages here. Most Malaysians speak 3 or 4 languages. Where are you going? English. Leo Pinto, Cantonese. Ingapore, Tamil. Muna gimono, Malay with Cantonese dialect. This is called jalan-jalan, or invitation to go for a walk. It begins and ends with a pantun, which is a form that is the world calls pantoum, quatrains. Budak KL di tepi jalan termenung senja di kaki lima. Muka muram menanti bulan, tiba-tiba pelitamu menjelma. You signal when you want to turn, you give fair warning without horning. You never cut in from the right, you never overtake on the left side. You never speed up when I'm overtaking sometimes. We are on parallel lanes sometimes, in the same vehicle, but ever the same journey. I try to follow the rules. When it's merah, I stop. When it's hijau, I go. But sometimes when it's amber, I go faster. You voice your annoyance. I note you are stepping on the brakes, even though you're on the passenger side. You make mental notes, for goodness sakes, to remind me to be more patient before I end up being a patient. I always forget where all the potholes are. You remind me and yet I go in them. It's as if my brain is a sieve and you know I cannot resist to flower it. We try to avoid the hazards but can't avoid the rain, and sometimes it pours. The wipers provide brief clarity, but it won't let us forget the pain. Yet after all these years, despite your tears and fears, you are always, always game for a ride. Sometimes you say left but mean right, sometimes right but mean you're right. I always make light of your directional dyslexia. You know that flaw makes you oh so sexier. I've since adapted to your wrong turns. Every turn you say I turn the opposite way and neither of us notices. For every left turn was always right, and every right turn, well, there are few of those left to burn. For either way, you always had a knack of knowing where we are and where we're going, and you will still be my ways from now until the end of our days. Berulang-alik dari PJ ke Ipoh, berjalan bersama di jalan sehala. Alangkah bertuahku bertemu jodoh, isteri berkorban tak hitung pahala. Thank you.
Ooh, unmute yourselves and give some energy to my man.
That's amazing.
Julian.
Yes.
Julian, just incredible.
Always. Beautiful.
Incredible.
Bilingual. Julian's like, oh, I got this. I got this ahead of him.
Julian Matthews, you can find him on Linktree, and then you can find him all over the internet. Julian Matthews, coming out of Malaysia, a mainstay here at the Monday Night Eye Open Mic. Julian, I appreciate you so much. And way before you had read my poem during Poet Appreciation, I will never forget the kind of phasing language he used, and all of you mother-suckling humans heard it. My man, Mr. Julian Matthews. All right, I didn't forget about you, Diane. I did not forget about your poem. All right, next coming up is one of the newer mainstay members of the Monday Night Online Open Mic. This brother, I believe, heard us on Facebook, and we had said, yo, why don't you come join us on Zoom? He came, joined us on Zoom, and I was like, well, we have an extra spot. You want to perform a poem? He performed a poem, and we are all for him now, and that is Zoom Conto. Did I say it right? Did I say it right? I always call you by your government, but I said it right, my man. Let the good folks know where they can find you online, and then we ready for your fire, brother. Love having you here.
Yeah, I'm a bit disoriented because this shut me down, and when it came back, the poems I wrote, all of them, even for this one, this prompt, they're all gone. So I'll have to do something else different. So I'm kind of, because those were good pieces. Anyway, I'll just do one for my son. I wish you mountains that stoop down and crumble the tufts of hair on their crown to form beach sand for the shores that this world will never dare to pollute. Where the music of ancient flutes is trapped in shells that populate its blanket of pebbles and stones, which when thrown against the surface of the ocean, each whistles back with each bouncing motion the secrets of the snails that died inside them, carrying the world on their backs and heaven in their hearts. Those that are said to have slowed down deliberately and sacrificed themselves so their shells can become refuge for the songs whose melodies are now known for guiding the bruised heaps of lost sheep back home. I wish you to speak bright words the way light was named, with sound in its attendance, and that I live long enough for the chance to tell you the story of how light and sound learned to dance for the first time, trapping the universe in a trillion light years of rhythm. I wish that as you whisper your own name that you believe it, and that each letter in it is a feather inside the largest wing to ever host the wind. And that as you fly, you are not distracted fighting that wind, but just enjoying the aerial view. My son, I want to take all the insults of this world on your behalf, so that you find half of the world's untruths about Black boys already shelved in a bunker somewhere. I would have walked back and forth through time to collect each falsehood and hold it captive in the underworld, not to ban a single one, but to remind you that another generation would soon need you to collect the other half and make sure the collection is complete. Then have a bonfire party and invite the neighbors, all singing at once like, fuck a racist. I wish your teenage eyes will take long walks inside the hallway of histories begging to be written. And that those that died gritting their teeth while holding onto olive branches can see you planting trees and be proud. And that seeing new hunger to know more disarms their spirit and charms them into forgiving the trees from which the spears that dug into their chests were carved. I wish you the rarest form of love, the one that plays catch with itself, throwing boomerang kisses at the sky, knowing the love will come back glowing with the remnants of dying stars, and that each tiny sparkle of those dying stars will hustle its way back into the sky and become a fully blown sun. My son, the hourglass will always be a desert of seconds, ticking away until you are brave enough to shatter the glass and find water. Because that's what I wish for you. I wish you water to flow towards the future, like hip hop, like poetry. I wish you an elephant's memory so that you remember to forget what they did to me. Write the debt to ancestry. Find your identity. My son, more than anything under this sun, I wish you to remember that you are royalty. Bayete. Thank you.
Mute yourselves. Give it up for Zonconto.
Oh my God.
Wow.
Zonconto.
Come back from losing.
Love your work.
Your son is blessed. Your
I
son is
forget what they
blessed.
did to you.
Woo. Zonconto, make sure that you put all of your information to chat so people can give you a follow. I've had my trouble with technology too. I'm sorry to hear about what happened to you, but I don't know, maybe there's someone who needed to hear that poem on Zoom today. Maybe that's what happened. I want to tell you, I'm not going to get too much into it, but I got to speak with some folks this Saturday who never come on the Zoom calls, but they'll always listen to us on YouTube and they know who we are. So I just want to let y'all know, if you are one of those people you're listening right now, I do encourage you to come to Zoom, show yourself, be part of the community, come to something at the cafe that we're doing. It is is a fantastic community, but nonetheless, I appreciate all of y'all out there what I like to call the quiet listeners. I appreciate y'all too, wherever you may be. I got to meet a couple this weekend who had a hard time finding parking trying to get to Hybrid. So shout out to them. But Zonkonto, go give him a follow. I think he's putting his info into the chat right now. All right, before we get to our last 5 poets, and I know that like you were thinking like me, man, I am having a good time. I don't know if I could wait till next week for another time, to have this good of a time. It's all good because on Thursday the New Eureka Poets Cafe has another online open mic. It's at 9 p.m. where we not do just poetry, but we do ourselves some music, we do ourselves some comedy, and we do ourselves some therapy. I know that Bruja's not hosting Thursdays anymore, but I still think the saying is true. Monday is circus and Thursdays is therapy. It's now therapy with our new host of the Thursday night online open mic, and that is Ray J. Ray, why don't you talk to the people about it? Let them know they can find you. Thank you for hanging out with us on Monday, sis. And it was a good seeing you this weekend. Ray J was all over TV promoting the New Eureka Poets Cafe at the Puerto Rican Day Parade. Love you, sis.
That's right. Greetings, y'all. Thank you for the space to share. As always, Advocate. I have no choice but to represent the place that gives me a platform and love and an opportunity to share love and light with other people, whether they're present in these Zoom boxes, present in person, or otherwise. So if you are in need of love and you got your excitement, your cup runneth over with excitement from Monday, and you say, you know what, this week is really kicking my ass, or something else is kicking your ass, come on over on Thursday night, 9 p.m. Eastern. Sign up with us 24 hours ahead of time on Wednesday night, 9 p.m. Eastern. Come through. If you forget and your kids, they going crazy and you missed the 9 o'clock sign up, come on out anyway. We usually have a good luck round for those who didn't get on the official guaranteed list. And we'd love to have you. And I think that's all that needs to be said. Come through. Come through, get the love. It's for you.
Appreciate you, sis. Ray Jane, we like to call her Thunder Lung because when she performs her poems, it's like all the ancestors at once speak through her in unison. Love having you, Ray. Thank you for being not only, one of us as a poet, but also hosting as well, being a leader in the community. I appreciate you greatly, and I think that the community appreciates you greatly. And I'm telling you, ABC cameras appreciated you greatly when you were all over the news holding the New York banner. Woo, you made the cafe look good. I was like, I know that woman. All right, come over here. I know that woman. Give her a follow at It's Ray Jane. That's also her website, itsrayjane.com. Thank you, Ray. All right, let's get to our last 5 poets. And I got to see this gentleman this weekend at the Hybrid and at the karaoke. Our after parties, every second Sunday we have Hybrid. And then right after, Paul Conqueso will host the karaoke after party. And this gentleman who's coming up next got to rock at both. It's always a pleasure to have him around. That's my man, The Withdrawn. Brother, let the folks know where they can find you online, Mr. Lower East Sider. And then we ready for your poetry.
I love you, man. I love y'all so much. Y'all can follow me at thewithdrawn.com and The Withdrawn on Instagram. I got 2 short pieces. The first one's called Awakening in the Form of Lucid Dreams. 3 hours of the deepest parts of me yelling because I am not here. I am not living. I am not free. My morals are shifting, and I'm kind of okay with that. I mean, I'm only human. It's okay to change, but not when you're becoming the monster you always despised. I was shown where and what needs transformation so that I can feel one with my body again. But is that enough for me to make the transition, or will it take a complete loss of myself for my eyes to finally open? And the second one is called, I took a shit at work today and ended up locking myself in the bathroom with no escape from smelling myself. How in connection are you when it comes to the language of kindness? To the outside, you are sweet. To the inside, you are sweet. But what about those times where you engage in poison about yourself and those around you? What's done inside will reflect the out and vice versa. Consciousness is easy, but do you choose it? To the outside, you are sweet. To the inside, you are sweet. And I wonder what you are to the space in between that. Thank you.
Give it up for the withdrawn, our wild card.
My boy. He wasn't nasty this time.
It's a roller coaster.
First line.
I was confident.
She already.
Wow.
Make sure you go check out his website, thewithdrawn.com. I appreciate you, brother. You never know he's going to come. He's got that wild card. All right, real quick, I want to shout out some people who are giving love. Like I've been hearing Idionga, seeing her in the chat. I appreciate you, sis. Shout out to Marcia Rivera in the building with the hat low. Appreciate you. She was also at Hybrid. Tara is checking us out. Tara, week in and week out, is checking us out. And Tara's only shared their poetry, I think, maybe once, maybe twice. I appreciate you, Tara. Thank you so much. Claudia from the BX is here. Claudia also worked with us at the Puerto Rican Day Parade. Shout out to you. Thank you, sis. I mentioned him earlier. Our host of the karaoke, Mr. Paul Conqueso. He also walked with us at the parade and, of course, partied with us on Saturday. Appreciate you, brother. Who else is here? Miss Fly with her sunglasses on Zoom. La Tormenta, Amanda Ashley Villanueva. Hope you're good, sis. It's a pleasure seeing you. Who else do we have here real quick? I saw Gabriel Q checking us in earlier. He got his video off. Shout out to him. Vonnie Woods has been with us since the beginning. Shout out to Vonnie. Hope you're enjoying yourself. Jenny, again, I have no idea who Jenny is, but Jenny keeps showing up week in and week out. Jenny, I appreciate it. I hope you're enjoying all of our poets. And anyone I missed, I'm going to get to in a little bit because right now, and Paul Skiff. I saw Paul Skiff here before. I don't know if he's still here. Oh, Paul is there. The OG, the true Lower East Sider, the man who has more claim to this open mic than I do because he actually did work with the founders, Mr. Paul Skiff. Appreciate you, brother. All right. Now we are going to the man who I think is wearing the flyest hat today in Zoom. He joined us on Hybrid via Zoom as well, and that's my man, Gerilissimo. Brother, let the folks know where they can find you online, and then the floor is yours.
Generalissimo Brian Franco on Facebook and GNRLSMO on Instagram. I'll put in the chat how you can come to my Cafe Generalissimo next Monday. Also, just want to say thank you, Advocate, for everything, and I'll read 2 poems. So I have them right here. The first is brand new. In 55 plus years, I have yet to learn to surf or play beach blanket bingo. Every day can be like going to the beach. Waking up is removing my flip-flops. Pulling the sheet and spread from my body is letting my toes feel the sand sift through. Getting out of bed is setting up the beach blanket. Each step I take, walking away from the bed, is setting something on a corner of the blanket so it doesn't blow away. Flipping the light switch is pulling a cold drink from the cooler and hearing the hiss when I open a bottle or can. To be honest, I don't go to the beach as much as I should. I prefer taking a meditative walk during the off season when there are no people there. But when I actually go to the beach, it's not to lay out like when I was young, but to read or people watch or write. Beaches are antidotes to stress, to anxiety, to a brain that likes to joyride on clover leaves on the Los Angeles freeway. Then there's the ocean. Dipping my toes in the water is washing my face. Waiting till I'm waist deep is brushing my teeth. The first dunk is stepping into a steamy shower. Depending on my state of mind, this takes me 5 or 6 or 7 minutes. When I bob up and down in salt water like a kid on a pogo stick, I'm cleansing the previous day's residue away. Then I get to dry off and feel the antiseptic qualities of the Atlantic as my skin breathes in the sea and salt air. I have been listening to NPR the second I entered the bathroom. Now I get dressed and make breakfast. Every day doesn't progress so quickly or easily. Every day is not a day at the beach, but every day is a day I wake up breathing. I am only 55 and 12 years old. I still have time to learn to surf. One more poem, How to Get Away with Public Nudity. When I read my poetry, I empty myself of me. I'm not pretending to be someone else. I'm not exactly stepping out of myself. Maybe I'm stripping bare without removing any clothing. Maybe the clothes I choose to wear are a costume I use to hide in plain sight. Maybe the words I commit to page and extol through voice are my version of streaking across the 50-yard line while Lady Gaga sings the Star-Spangled Banner at the Super Bowl. When I empty myself of me, when I read my poetry, it's like tossing a deck of cards in the air and hoping the jokers land face up. Every day I wake up is a wild card that tries to learn its way out of being wild. When I empty myself of me, when I read my poetry, every time I play 52 pickup, I pick up the cards, put them back in the box, return to living life, and because I am a poet, I get to empty myself of me every time I write a new poem, if I choose. Gracias, everyone.
Unmute yourselves and give it up for Gerilissimo.
That was, oh my God.
To the nerve.
Nice.
To the bone.
Man, you see that cat's real no? Ooh, damn.
Gerilissimo, make sure you go give him a follow. Go get his book. He's also been here in the cafe. I'm excited to have him back here. Hopefully he could come back soon. Gerilissimo, mainstay here at the Monday night online open mic. Love that, brother. Next coming up is a dude who I expected to see this weekend. I don't know what his plans were. Maybe it was a Puerto Rican Day festival. And that's my man, Justin Ramsey. Justin, where were you, man? I thought we were going to see you this weekend.
Yo, the FOMO is like beyond real right now. Like I have my tickets in hand. My work schedule didn't line up. I did tune in a little bit to Hybrid on Saturday night from work, but glad to get to see the parade through you all. So thank you for setting that up. I don't care if I got to call out. I'm there. July. I'm in there.
Awesome. Don't forget, let the people know they can follow you online too, brother.
Oh, most def. You can follow me on Instagram. My handle is in my username, just_incredible89. I got 2 haikus, 2 short poems, a little buffet of wordplay for you tonight. And let's get to it. So the first one is, we'll just start with the haikus. I practice Spanish with my work friend Celia, porque tienes que saber. The next one, aquí me quedo, nadie puede moverme. Bushwick es Jorga. All right. The next one is a short poem I wrote yesterday after the parade. It's called Growing Up New Yorican. Growing up New Yorican, truthfully speaking, has been a test and a quest of identity seeking. Too gringo to be Boricua, too brown to be white, all because our grandparents did what they thought was right. We compromised culture for a chance of success and hid who we are for a chance to impress those who hand out the diplomas and promotions. We favored English to avoid any commotion. Little did I know the price of freedom was paid when the time to fly my flag was cut to one parade. And the last piece I have was a reaction to the whole, the continued mass shootings that have been going on. This one is called When Does It End? When does it end? When does it end? When does it fucking end? How much longer do we have to pretend that it's all good, that there are no wounds to mend? When does all this madness stop? How many more bodies and tears must drop? How much more blood must be spilled? Who's really built to bear survivor's guilt? How many more families must be split at the seams? How many more children must be robbed of their dreams? How many more moments of silence? How many more times must we condemn this violence? When do our lives start to matter more than the bottom line? When will our leaders grow a fucking spine? Why does $5 a gallon trigger more concern than 21 people killed while they were trying to learn? How much clearer does the black mirror need to be to see that thoughts and prayers alone can't fix these tragedies? What will it take to drive out this hate and live up to our name, the United States? Thank you.
Unmute yourselves and give it up for Justin, y'all.
Great job, Justin.
Yes.
Those last two pieces.
Amazing.
Thank you.
So important. Yeah.
Thank you.
That's over here.
Justin Ramsey, make sure you give Justin a follow. He is on Instagram at just_incredible89. Brother, thank you very much. I think I did see you in the IG live too. There was so much going on, man, but I'm glad that you got to appreciate that on the New York IG live, yo. I want to give everyone like a little insight to what was going on. Miss you, man. Can't wait to see you next weekend. Thank you, brother. Appreciate it. All right, we got 2 more posts to go. Also want to give a shout out to Nancy Helgeson, who's been checking us out from the very beginning. Thank you, Nancy. I appreciate you tuning into us. Is there anyone who I am missing that didn't sign up but is here? Eric G, if I didn't shout out Eric, appreciate you, Eric. Thank you for listening to us. Now we are going to go to Luisa. Let me unmute. Is Luisa there? Luisa Pelletieri, who uses Brother Noah's account to sign up to the Monday Night Online Open Mic. You there, Luisa?
Hi.
There we go. There's Luisa. Luisa, let the good folks know where they can find you online, and then explain where you've been, because it's been a long time since we've seen you, and then do your poem. Good to see you.
Good to see you. They cannot find me online. I am not online. Maybe at some point in the future, I will let you know when that happens. Yeah, I don't know. I got a job. Life's been hectic. But we're here now. So, thank you. Yeah, some of this is my stuff, some of it's not. Yeah, I don't know, but yeah, like, thank you for just like, this is always a space that I feel like I can like come to and be really open in, and I love it. So thank you for being such a great community. Yeah. Okay, this is a real baby. She's like an hour old. So it's not edited, very fresh. Just preface with that. I had goosebumps today entering the train, dancing up the back of my arms, hair stiff on my neck. My heart pumped a little faster, breathing in stale air like mountain fresh, feeding heaving lungs. Things like that don't happen twice in a row, a mantra on repeat in my head. I ground myself, press my feet into sticky linoleum, train moving beneath jelly legs, fluorescent light burns through half-lidded eyes, panic and alertness at war. Feet have forgotten movement, yet legs ready to sprint. Things like that don't happen twice in a row, a mantra on repeat in my head. The train lurches, doors chime closed, 7 minutes in this metal car as we sing down the rails, 125th Express to 59th commute. I've lived in the city all my life, taken the train since I was strapped to parents' chests, round and soft, cooed at by strangers on stuffy morning commutes. I remember old enough to stand, dropping the pole, swaying to the rock of the train, subway surfing, my friends and I called it. The last one to touch the pole, victor of our childhood games. The train was always good for napping, tucked between strangers or head resting on the shoulder of my mom. Like any New Yorker, the train is neither to love or to hate. It is instead a necessity, accepted without question as our city's veins. I will defend our trains. I will still defend our trains to out-of-towners, tourists, and friends alike. I will pardon her failures until my mouth runs dry and my lungs deflate. Because despite it all, I can travel 3 miles in 7 minutes, and that's got to be worth some frustration. So as my hand clenches the metal pole, slick from sweat, nerves, and heat alike, I remind myself things like that don't happen twice in a row. A mantra on repeat in my head. Still, as the train sways, thoughts fill my head, memories of some trauma too fresh to bury. My brother and I, Union Square. I sit on orange plastic, sandwiched between strangers. He stands holding the pole. We talk, nothing important. And then thundering footsteps passing our standing car. A few seconds pass like minutes. Not panic, not yet. Curiosity, interest. And then I don't hear it, but my brother tells me later. Phrases like active shooter, words like gun. And he pulls me up and we run. We join stampeding feet, running faster than I thought I could. I'm not panicked yet, still fast, still sharp. People pass in blurs, and we are a pack. Strange unity in chaos, oneness in the run. Someone falls up the stairs, a woman, brown skin, few wrinkles. The pack moves, the weakest stay behind. I pass her, my arm hangs out, let her up. I don't know how long she takes regaining her place. Seconds pass like hours, maybe hours like seconds. And I wait until she stands. She is my pack and I cannot leave her underfoot. No thought, only compassion, loud words, an unmoving arm, and we run. I learned later that my brother wanted to pull me along. I learned later that perhaps the pack has no room for compassion, only family, only oneness, only fear. I learned later that no gun was pulled, only the threat of violence, only the words spoken. But perhaps the word is enough when we all live in fear. Perhaps that lady, mid-40s, sprawled on the stairs would have been the only casualty, split skull between metal and fear. Perhaps I saved her. Perhaps she would have fought the tide. Perhaps she would have survived. And she is on my mind as I recite. Things like that don't happen twice.
Ooh, unmute yourselves and give it up for Louisa, y'all.
Wow.
Yeah.
Appreciate that.
Thank you.
Wow.
Louisa Pelletieri. Louisa, don't go far. I don't care what responsibilities you have, what bills you need to pay. You need to not work Mondays and come hang out with us. Louisa Pelletieri has been on here quite a few times. I really enjoyed your poetry. I'm sorry that, you've seen that or gone through that. And I'm sorry we're all going through that and experiencing that. But I appreciate your take and your poetry, and you've always got a space with us, Louisa. Appreciate it. And it's okay, some of us don't have social media witness protection program. What? We respect that gangster over here. Louisa Pelletieri. Next time you see Louisa, will be here on the Monday night online open mic. All right, I got one more poem for you, and then we're going to be closing out the night. And make sure you stick around to the end because I have a double pleasure for the Good Night, Sweet Poet poem. But I'm not going to mention that just yet because we are going back to our sung hero, and that is Ron Mark Thompson, Mr. Ron Mark Thompson, producer of tonight, also signed up legally, by the way, legitly. Okay, he legitly went on 8 o'clock and signed up. Ron, let the folks know one more time where they can find you online, and then the floor is yours, brother.
Sure. First of all, I put the New Regan Poets Cafe social media and all the hosts. But before I promote myself, Advocate, I'm going to throw you a curveball since you sometimes do this with me. Maybe I zoned out, but there were 2 questions about the anthology that I don't know if they got answered. You mentioned the middle of June, but I think it's the middle of July, the deadline, approximately, right? There is no fully set, right?
Yeah, I swore I said middle of July, but if it sounded like June, my bad. In terms of the deadline for the anthology, middle of July. And also, that's right, you sent me a message. Some people wondered if they could send in poems that were published before. We have no problem with it, but whoever you publish your poem with, you need to make sure whatever kind of contract or paperwork you signed, if they allow you to publish elsewhere. But we're cool with it. It doesn't have to be our anthology doesn't have to be the first or only place you have that poem published.
Cool. Thank you so much for answering this. This was very important. Cool. All right. Now, disclaimer, I didn't sign up at 8 o'clock. When I came home from the parade, I went to take a nap and woke up at midnight. And I'm like, let me just see if it's still open. And that's when I signed up and got the 25th spot. So to anyone in the audience, if you don't have the chance to sign up at 8, check at 9, check at 10 p.m. Eastern time. There's always a chance. And I got in at midnight, you know, talking about a parade, the National Puerto Rican Day Parade in New York City. I just want to give out again a big shout out to everyone who participated. Elizabeth, Claudia, Tabitha, Ned Vega, Chive and his friends. On the sidelines, Vex Lex, Idyonga were there, and anyone else I didn't see or forgot to shout out. Those who watched in IG. La Brewer finally was back with us. Was so happy she has recovered. She is back. Ray Jane, you know, all the staff. Destiny, Matthew, Advocate was live streaming. And I have to also say something. So Ray Jane may have been the one the cameras picked up, but Paul Concasso, he was the one they handed the microphone and they interviewed him, right? I couldn't hear, it was so loud with the music, so I couldn't hear what he said, but he literally promoted and told, you know, the person, what is the cafe about, who we are, what we do. So Paul, thank you for doing that, though. You know, that was amazing as well. And all the other staff members from the cafe who came and represented, some people may forget, but most of us, including the ones who didn't work at the cafe but still came to participate, we were at karaoke till like past 1 o'clock, and we all made it. You know, we got home 3 o'clock in the morning. We all made it in the morning. It was so beautiful to march with the cafe, Fifth Avenue. Next year, if anyone can make it in the audience, I'm gonna chase after you. I'm not a nice person. I want you to come. It was so great. When we finished the 30 blocks, I had so much energy. I'm like, let's walk another 30 blocks. Let's keep representing the cafe. So again, that was so beautiful, you know, everyone. All right, quickly, I'll put in the chat how you can find me online at Ron Mark Thompson and my Bronx Art and Fun Up. The word is right. Allow me to repeat one more time. Paul Concasso, I put it in the chat. This Wednesday will be featuring at Art Defined in person at Lehman College in the Bronx, or via Zoom. Both you can join for free. It's Wednesday, 8 p.m. I put the Eventbrite link in. If you sign up, you get to go either in person or you get the Zoom link. And on Friday, the 17th, Bronx Music Heritage Center will be presenting Hip Hop Homeland Showcase. I happen to be the stage manager, but that's not the reason I'm promoting that. La Brewer and Rockefeller are co-hosting, and Vexed Lex, Alexis Garcia on the flyer. She is one of the spoken word artists there. It's only $5 at the door. You can't beat it. Trust me, you will love it. In the Bronx, I put the address there. All right, the theme is bilingual, so I'm going to read you my poem for the bilingual theme. Guten Abend, ich heiße Ron, and ich bin bi. Good evening, my name is Ron, and I'm bi. Aber bi zu sein ist nicht mehr in, but being bi is no longer cool. Zum Beispiel, ich bin ein Zweibeiner. For example, I'm bipedal. I have 2 feet, I walk with them, sometimes drive a car, but with the nowadays crazy multitasking we all do, I really should have a 3rd and 4th leg, so I can get even more miles done. Ich bin 2 Unternehmenweise. Ich arbeite für mehr als 2 Unternehmen. I'm also by corporate. I work for more than one corporation. But who isn't these days? With the inflation, super high rents, mortgages, train fares, most of us have to work several jobs just to get by. Ich bin bifacial. Die meisten von euch kennen mein fröhliches, positives Gesicht. I am bifacial. Most of you know my happy, positive face. But I have another side, very angry sometimes sassy. Trust me, you don't want to get to see that face. If I may go a bit higher up, my home, our country, the United States, is boringly and dangerously bipartisan. Die Vereinigten Staaten ist langweilig und gefährlich, zweiparteilich. Just look around the world. In most other countries, there are at least 3 or 4 major parties represented in parliament, not just 2. And you know, they don't seem to have the issues we battle with each week, bipartisan. These are some of the things that may describe me or my home country as being bi. But I forgot to mention the most noticeable. I'm bilingual. Aber ich habe vergessen, das Auffälligste zu erwähnen. Ich bin zweisprachig. The language of the lines you just heard me translated in between here, German. Die Sprache hier, die ihr gerade gehört habt, die Zeilen, die ich zwischendurch übersetzte, Deutsch. I grew up in Germany for my first 19 years. I spent the last 25 plus years in New York, and I'm not telling you the exact numbers so you cannot guess my age, wink wink. I speak 2 languages, I'm bilingual. But as I mentioned at the beginning, it's being bilingual is no longer cool. In New York, I really should speak more than 2 languages. For example, since I live in the Bronx and now I work for the New Regan Poets Cafe in Manhattan, I kinda should learn Spanish. It's been on my to-do list. I promise I will learn the 3rd language in the next month, and then by next year I will no longer be bi, but I will be proudly trilingual. Gute Nacht, buenas noches, have a good night. The end.
Unmute yourselves, give it up for the sung hero, Ron Mark Thompson.
With RMT.
Yeah, you know me.
You Ron.
RMT.
RMT.
Go give Ron Mark Thompson a follow, the sung hero of the community. Love that brother. Love him, love him, love him. All right, we had a fantastic evening. If you want to rewatch anything that you saw today, of course, you can go do so by checking us out on Facebook and YouTube and now Twitter as well. NewRecan.org is our website. Of course, you can give me a follow at Advocate of Words on Twitter and Instagram. We got a lot of goodies coming to the New York. We already got a lot of goodies going on as is, y'all. So, with that being said, I said to you, I have a treat. Now, because this is bilingual, we're going to have 2 people closing it out. First, we're stealing from the other team, damn it. Nazali. I'm getting too excited here. Nazila, sorry, I'm getting too excited. I'm trying to say both names at the same time. Nazila is going to be sharing the poem with us. So let me spotlight Nazila so everyone can see her. But Naz is not going to be all alone. But no one's going to interfere with what Naz is saying because, again, we are doing 2 people. Mr. Propaganda is going to do the sign language. So we're going to end the bilingual themed open mic on the bilingual tip. We are going to be hearing Naz, who is representing the New Eureka Poets Cafe and Nomadic Press right now. And then my man Propaganda Poet is going to do it in sign language. So, with that being said, I have had a pleasurable evening. You all have heard my mouth all night long. So now we're going to shut up and let Naz and Propaganda take us home. Naz, Prop is just going to do his thing. You read it at your own pace, sis. Take us home.
Thank you. Good night, sweet poet. Thank you for sharing what you've written. Good night, sweet poet. Thank you for taking the time to listen. Good night, sweet poet. May your dreams be as imaginative as tonight's poems. Good night, sweet poet. Thank you for inviting the spirit of Miguel Agarin into your home. This has been the Monday Night Online Open Mic, presented by the New Eurekan Poets Cafe and hosted by Advocate of Words. On behalf of the community tonight, I, Nazila, would like to say good night, sweet poet. Peace.